The Australian Academy of the Humanities was established by Royal Charter in 1969 to advance scholarship and public interest in the humanities in Australia. It operates as an independent not-for-profit organisation partly funded by the Australian government. The Academy supports humanities research through conferences, grants and awards, supports the diffusion of humanities research findings through publication subsidies and media promotion, provides advice to government, industry, the media, and the community on matters concerning the humanities, maintains collaborations with bodies concerned with national cultural prosperity, and maintains relations and exchanges with international bodies. History. The Australian Academy of the Humanities was established by Royal Charter in 1969. Its antecedent was the Australian Humanities Research Council, which was convened informally in 1954 through the combined efforts of Dr. Brian R. Elliott and Professor A. N. Jeffers, who organised preliminary meetings in Melbourne of delegates drawn from the faculties of arts in Australian universities. The AHRC was a positive force in education and scholarship, and its activities gradually evolved, especially in its support for national projects in the humanities. Recognition among the AHRC executive of the changing functions of the Council led in 1967 to the proposal of establishing an academy. Royal consent was granted to the petition on 25 June 1969, and letters patent issued, constituting the Academy from that date. The Academy's foundation fellows were the members the AHRC. The highest distinction in scholarship in the humanities was required of candidates for election to the Fellowship of the Australian Academy of the Humanities. The first intake, comprising 16 fellows and 1 honorary fellow, were elected by the 51 foundation fellows at a special general meeting on 21 September 1969. Annual elections have taken place since that time. For an account of the debates and efforts that led to the establishment of the Academy, see Graham Davison FAHA's article in the inaugural edition of Humanities Australia, Phoenix Rising, the Academy and the Humanities in 1969. Governance. The Academy is governed by a council of leaders in the humanities, elected from among its fellows, who provide strategic direction, policy guidance, and management oversight. The Council meets 4 times a year. A Canberra-based secretariat is responsible for the day-to-day running of the Academy. President Professor John Fitzgerald FAHA, Vice President and AMP International Secretary Emeritus Professor Peter Kryle FAHA, Chevalier dans l'Ordre des Palmes Academics Honorary Secretary Emeritus Professor Elizabeth Minchin FAHA, Honorary Treasurer Emeritus Professor Richard Waterhouse FAHA, Editor Emeritus Professor Elizabeth Webby AM FAHA, Immediate Past President Professor Leslie Johnson AM FAHA, Ordinary Members Professor Han Balterson FAHA, Professor Magella Franzman FAHA, Professor John Gascoigne FAHA, Emeritus Professor Susan Sheridan FAHA, Professor Ian Lilly FAHA. Fellowship. The Academy comprises a fellowship of over 500 of the most influential humanities researchers in or associated with Australia. The post-nominal abbreviation for a Fellow of the Academy is FAHA. The following 11 disciplines serve as the fellowship's electoral sections: Archaeology, Asian Studies, Classical Studies, Cultural and Communication Studies, English, European Languages and Cultures, History, Linguistics, Philosophy and the History of Ideas, Religion, The Arts. Election to the Academy takes place at the annual general meeting, following nomination by Council on the advice of the 11 electoral sections. Foundation Fellows. At the date of the grant of the Royal Charter establishing the Australian Academy of the Humanities in 1969, there were 51 members of the AHRC who became the Foundation Fellows of the new Academy. An asterisk denotes a fellow who was also a Foundation member of the AHRC. David Mallet Armstrong, James Johnston Auchmuty *, Arthur Llewellyn Basham, Flora Marjorie Bassett, John Bowman, Ernest Bramsted, Joseph Terence Burke * Alexander Cambitoglu, Alan Roland Chisholm * Charles Manning Hope Clark, Raymond Maxwell Crawford * William Culican, William Allen Edwards * Brian Elliott, Ralph Barstow Farrell * Charles Patrick Fitzgerald, Kathleen Elizabeth Fitzpatrick * Alexander Boyce Gibson * Gordon Greenwood * Keith Hancock, Ursula Hoff, Alec Derwent Hope * Harold Arthur Kinross Hunt * John Andrew Naz * James Lawler Tsu and Yan Louis and Ramsey Maxwell * Alexander George Mitchell * Harold James Oliver, John Arthur Passmore, Douglas Henry Pike, Grenfell Price * George Frederick Elliott, Rude George Harrison Russell, Richard Herbert Samuel * Alan George Lewis Shaw, George Pelhamship * Keith Val Sinclair, John Jameson Carswell Smart, Jacob Smith, Bernard William Smith, Alan Kirstout * Theodore George Henry Strello, Elia Cuto Ntauman * Arthur Dale Trendall * Louis Augustus Triebel * Cotto Birkelbach Van der Sprenkel, John Manning Ward, Francis James West, Gerald Alfred Wilkes. Honorary Foundation Fellows: Claude Thomas Bissell, Herbert Colcoombs, Alexander Norman Jaffers, John McManus, Robert Menzies, Kenneth Bale, Mayor Harold White. Other academies. There are 3 other learned academies in Australia: the Australian Academy of Science, the Academy of the Social Sciences in Australia, and the Australian Academy of Technological Sciences and Engineering. These 4 academies cooperate through the Australian Council of Learned Academies, formed in 2010. In addition to this, the 4 academies convene the biennial National Scholarly Communication Forum to disseminate information changes to the context and structures of scholarly communication in Australia, and to make recommendations on what a broad spectrum of participants see as the best developmental policies.